Hello everybody, my name is Matheus Asato and I'm very happy that you're here. This is my very first guitar course released at my official website, matheusasato.com. On this first chapter, I will be sharing my thoughts on pentatonics in general. And I know, for some of you, this could be a very boring topic. You're just tired, you're over it because you've been practicing and playing pentatonics ever since, you started to play guitar. Or maybe you are that person stuck at the same pentatonic cliches and you're just feeling that you could explore some more. Either case, I truly believe this course could be for you. I was recently very surprised by how many things I did not know that I could use by just exploring the foundation of these 5 notes. I believe there's always one new thing that everybody could learn from pentatonics. So because of it, I came up with 5 steps on how you could take your pentatonic skills up to a next level. And here they are. First, you visualize, you get in shape, you change your mind, then you get out of shape to finally set yourself free. Does it sound weird? It's all good. Please join me on this journey and welcome to the Azotonics. Alright, for those who don't know, penta means 5. So pentatonic, 5 notes. And we have the major pentatonic, and we have the minor pentatonic. And by the way how I play the major pentatonic here is a reference from the intro of this song called My Girl by the group The Temptations. This is another thing that I find really important when I'm learning something new. I always try to bring references or examples that match my reality. So I try to develop my ears first. I think it's the most important thing to have good ears about a new sound, and because that's what brings the musicianship, the musicality. I feel like scales are just letters of the alphabet, and you and myself as an artist, we have to make poetry with those letters. If I just have one letter here and another letter here, if they don't have connection, if they don't have a sentence or an intent, they're just letters. So coming back to the minor major pentatonic, there's another thing I feel that it's very important to share with you. And since the fact this is a guitar course where I bring my own perspective to the table, I would like to give you a heads up that in the universe of pentatonics, especially when I'm improvising, my brain has this sort of minor mentality. Even when I'm playing over a major sound, a major key. So this is sort of a mind game strategy. Of course, there's a reason behind it where I'm going to share pretty soon. But what happens is my brain and my hands were so educated to this, shape of everything in minor. So what I do is in situations where I'm soloing over a major sound, a major key, I use the concept of the relative minor. And what do I mean by that? Every major key has a minor key and vice versa. So the same idea could be used for scales, including pentatonics. So we have here the C major pentatonic, which is also A minor pentatonic. And as you can notice, the notes are the same sonically, and the only difference is where you resolve. So again, of course, on this course, I'm going to show the examples of major pentatonics and minor pentatonics, but again, I'm just sharing how my brain works, especially when it comes to improvisation. So in situations where, okay, it's a major key progression, my brain instantly thinks of the concept of the relative minor because it just feels easier for me to think, to process, analyze progressions and things like that. So let me try to show you an example here, trying to bring, to the reality, to the real game. We're still going to be playing the My Girl song, and right now I recorded the chords of that song, which is a very major sound in key of C major. And again, I'm going to convert that into the minor mentality using the relative minor, but still looking and searching for that major sound to resolve, so the more major the better, but still under a minor scenario. It sounds a little confusing, but hopefully when I play this could make more sense. So just pay attention to the visuals, okay, to the finger positions and stuff like that. So anyways, all this strategy, this mind game that I have is because of this guy right here that I called it as the shape 4. Before I explain why I call this as the shape 4, let me share my relationship with this guy, which I believe you will relate as well. This was the very first thing that I learned at guitar soloing. I remember just playing this scale, this shape up and down with no theory, but it felt good, it sounded nice, and plus it's easy to play. I believe this is the most used shape ever. It's also, I believe it's easier to achieve precision and speed with this. But anyways, so my brain kind of created this mechanism of self-defense, or I would say my go-to place, my safe place in situations, for example, where I don't know what to play, or okay, I need to solo over this and I don't know the key, or I don't want to risk anything, and I just want to play it safe. Shape 4, here we go. Let me show you an example here. So I made a song with a bunch of key changes, and some of them unpredictable and some of them not really. And I'm gonna show you how I use this shape 4 as my safe place, So honestly, I don't remember much where the direction of the song goes, but you will see that even though I'm going to navigate through some areas of the neck, the essence of my improvisation will be around this shape 4. And the moral of the history here is, I don't know if you have any sort of favorite shape, but I recommend you to have one. It's nice to have at least 1 or 2 shapes for you, so you can play it safe. And in my case, it's the shape 4 for sure. So let me show you. Let's play this, and hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. you can see, I messed up some notes. But again, because my brain came up with this sort of status of associating this shape with my go-to place. So it's very important to have at least one favorite shape in your mind. So they say I've seen people naming this shape with different numbers, but according to the reference that I embrace, which is the cage system, I called it as the shape 4 to match the sequence of that system. So this guy right here, on this course, we're going to name it as shape 4. I've always had a hard time trying to explain what the cage system is about, but I got this analogy the other day that summarizes quite well, at least for me. So imagine if the guitar is a place or a city. And if the guitar is a city, the cage system is the GPS, the map. So with the cage system, we have 5 points of reference for 5 areas over the neck that help you to get situated with the instrument. It's a source that helps you to remember where home is. And this leads us to the first topic of the isotonics.